What's up everybody, we're back in BFA once again, and today we're taking a look at the Zandalari Trolls and the Kul'tiran humans. So we finally get to test them a bit on the PTR, we get to see all the customization, how they move and everything, and it's almost all there. So I'll be going over everything you need to know about them, how their racials work, what classes they can play and how you get them. Seeing as it is PTR though, some of this is subject to change. So let's start off with the fun stuff, the racials and how they work. So taking a look at the Zandalari Trolls, we have a few of the standard flavor racials if you will. City of Gold, increases gold earned from creatures by 2%. Seems pretty fitting seeing how they live in a city of gold. They also have Goblin Glider 2.0, the Pterodax Swoop. Currently on a whooping 15-minute cooldown. It reduces your falling speed for 2 minutes, or well, it does exactly the same thing as a Goblin Glider, but it does look a bit more awesome swooping away on a giant bird, or dinosaur if you will, and it does seem to go a bit faster than the Goblin Gliders. Next out is the racial that caused an outburst of angry forum posts, Regenerating. On a 1.5 minute cooldown, regenerates 25% of your maximum HP every 1 second over 4 seconds, so 100% HP. This, however, I would take with a large grain of salt. Bliss themselves have said numbers aren't final, and well, that's what the PTR is for, testing. Most recent change is that it does break on damage now, rendering it a lot less useful than before, but still very useful. Progressing a raid boss and a huge AoE goes out, pop this and be fine. Even if you only manage to get 1 tick of it, it is still a massive heal. So we'll see where they go with this, but I like the idea of it at least. And lastly, we have Embrace the Loa, which is a collective of racials, if you will. Embrace the Loa lets you choose one of the Loas to, well, embrace, and depending on which one, you get a different buff. So, from top to bottom, Embrace of Akunda, your healing abilities have a chance to heal their target for X amount. Embrace of Bwonsamdi, your damaging abilities have a chance to deal X amount of shadow damage and heal you for 100% of the damage done. Embrace of Gonk increases your movement speed by 5%. Embrace of Kimball, your damaging abilities have a chance to cause the target to bleed for X amount over 6 seconds. This effect stacks up to 3 times. Embrace of Kragwa, taking damage has a chance to grant you X amount of additional health and X amount of armor. And Embrace of Paku, your abilities have a chance to grant you 5% critical strike for 12 seconds. All of the X amount, like the heal, bleed damage, etc. seems to scale with gear, so more attack power for example, you get a stronger bleed, stuff like that, which is nice. The idea or mechanic behind Embrace the Loa seems to be that you can swap every now and then, depending on what you might want or need. Currently though, it has a 25-day cooldown. I'll go ahead and assume this will not be the case on live. If I had to guess, it will be maybe 2 minutes cooldown to swap from one Loa to another Loa. But it is a fun racial to play around with, giving different value to different classes, having something for every class and spec, be it healer, DPS or tank, and for me at least it is a lot more fun than the old get X amount of stat. Seeing as it is PTR and I haven't been able to try every single spec and class with every single Loa, it's hard to say how good they will be in the end. Just smacking around a target dummy for a couple of minutes showed the bleed and shadow damage one to be around overall 2-3% of my damage done, but again I suspect a lot will change numbers wise. So with that said, let's take a look at the Kul'tiran humans. Just like every other race, they start off with a few flavor racials. And yes, they are almost all nautical. So we have Rime of the Ancient Mariner, reduces frost and nature damage taken by 1%, pretty standard stuff, far from game breaking. Jack of all trades, increases all trade skills by 5. Child of the Sea, hold your breath 50% longer and swim 10% faster. I mean, who doesn't want to be able to be underwater for over 5 minutes without a potion? But in all fairness, 10% swim speed is pretty nice. And Brush It Off, increases versatility by 1%, and when you take damage you heal for 2% of that amount over 4 seconds. So a reverse stagger if you will. In all fairness though, it is nothing groundbreaking, but it can probably chalk up a lot of healing over an encounter, especially for tanks, and it's a pretty fun take on a racial if you ask me. And lastly, we have the Haymaker, 2.5 minute cooldown, a 1 second cast, wind up, then unleash your might upon your foe. Dealing X amount of damage, X here stands for pretty much nothing, and you stun the target for 3 seconds and knock him far, far away. So pretty much a single target stun and knockback. Looks cool as hell and will see its uses in PvP. However, I long to see people knock away mobs in dungeons, pulling packs and annoying the crap out of everyone else with it. So what do you guys think about the racials? Please let me know in the comments below. Are you supporting Kul'tirans here or the Zandalari trolls? However, with the racials aside, what classes do we have access to for these new races? Well, for the Kul'tiran we have the Warrior, Hunter, Rogue, Priest, Shaman, Mage, Monk, and Druid. The Kul'tiran Shamans, like any race, will get their own themed totems, and Kul'tiran Druids will get all new forms, so new shapeshifts, new bear, new everything. Most of you have probably already seen them, but I thought I'd give you a run through anyway. Say what you will, but they look a hell of a lot more awesome than ye old bear and kitty cat. So let's take a look at the Zandalari. We have Warrior, Paladin, Hunter, Rogue, Priest, Shaman, Mage, Monk, and Druid. Again, new stylized troll totems for the Zandalari, and just like the Kul'tiran, the Zandalari Druids get a couple of awesome new forms as well. Again, awesome stuff. Sadly, I can't show you the flight forms, currently have no riding skill on the PTR. Not sure which I like the most, Kul'tiran Druid forms or Zandalari, but it's almost enough to level a Druid. Almost. So, how do we get our hands on these highly anticipated new races? Well, just like the rest of the allied races, they will be gated behind reputations and a few achievements. So you need to be exalted with Zandalari Empire or Proudmoore Admiralty. Finish the achievements Zandalar Forever or A Nation United and Tides of Vengeance. The last part of Tides of Vengeance will be released in 8.1.5. So much of this a lot of you probably already have. If not, well, then you know what you need to do now. All in all, I am personally pretty dang stoked to get my hands on him. Mostly the Zandalari troll for my Paladin. Love the way they look, their new racials, and I gotta say I'm getting just a tad tired of playing Blood Elf. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about the new races and racials in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my Patreon if you'd like to support me, and as always, hit that subscribe button, leave me a like, and ring that notification bell and switch it to all. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.